Hey everyone, and welcome to another Vlogmas video. I'm excited to give you guys this one. We're going to be talking about how to stay organized during the holidays. This is another one of your guys' suggestions, which I thought was great, and it's good to do it before the holidays really kick off very soon. So I figured I would do this video now so we can chat about it. If you can hear little clicks in the background, apologies, it's just my daughter playing a game. So basically, I'm just gonna give you my tips and tricks on how I stay organized in the holiday season. I'm going to start off by saying I am not one of those like crazy organized people with the planner and and the binder full of graph sheets. That's just not me. So let's consider this like a chill version of how to stay organized during the holidays. Okay, so I'm going to try to make these short and sweet and to the point because we all know I talk a lot. So the first thing I would recommend for staying organized is just don't sweat it. This is your holiday too, and you really need to enjoy it. And I feel like we can get so wrapped up in trying to create the perfect holiday, the perfect Christmas, the perfect dinners that it just gets really overwhelming. And that would be my number one piece of advice for staying organized, is to just be really chill with it. If something doesn't get done, not a big deal. That being said, there is definitely some real benefit to thinking ahead and planning out your holiday so that you do have the opportunity to relax and be chill and keep it a peaceful holiday, because it's so important to enjoy your own holiday with your family. You can't be the only one just worrying about everything and not enjoying the holiday. Next, I would recommend lists. Now, this is just what I do, is what I'm telling you guys, like all my videos. I'm just letting you know what I do because I'll talk about what I know, but I am a list maker and it makes a big difference. So lists for everything, for your gifts, for activities, food, groceries, lists of things you need to make lists of can even be helpful. And I recommend maybe getting a little cheap planner or like little journal. You know, the dollar store has those for like 50 cents. Just somewhere where it's in one book and one place where you can keep it. That being said, I don't keep mine in one book in one place, and I'll show you what I do in a second. So in saying that, let's just jump into what I personally use. Now, let's start with, okay, so for gifts and stuff, keeping gifts organized and trying to keep track of that, I can't actually physically show you that right now because I film on my phone, but I keep that on my phone. And so what I do is I just open a new notes page in your notes app, and I just label it like Christmas 2017, and I always put little like gift emojis just to make my eyeballs see it a little better, and it just helps things keep organized in my brain when I look at it. And I make a list of everybody's name. In my notes you would find like Cody's, and these are wish lists, so it'd be like Cody and me and both of my kids and stocking stuffer ideas I have, and then maybe decorations or any little thing that you would need to buy or that you would regularly buy during the holidays is where I keep the lists, or this list of things I might need. Now this is where the chill part comes in. This is just a wish list. I just keep this really general so that when I'm shopping I don't draw a blank, because the reason for me that planning is so important is because when things really get going, my brain just like potatoes and it doesn't remember everything it needs to remember. So sometimes just triggering my memory can really help me in situations where I'm supposed to be shopping or I'm supposed to be doing this. So that really helps me. So I'll put general ideas like Mackenzie has these ideas for Christmas and I have these ideas for her for Christmas, and Grayson, this is kind of what he in general wants, and this is what I was thinking about getting him, just so I don't forget. Same with Cody, same with things. If I see something I might want, I'll jot it down in there. It's easy to do on my phone because it's close at hand, and if I go out shopping I always have my phone with me, so I can't really forget my list or my like general wish list, so that's very handy. And then at the very bottom of this list I also make a section for already purchased, where I can jot down things I already purchased, just because when you go and tuck stuff away for Christmas it can be easy to double buy or forget you already got a gift for something. So that's just how I stay organized in the gift giving area. Now, as far as activities go, some of you have already seen that I am an Advent activity list maker. I make a little bucket list for Christmas. This year I shared it with you guys on Instagram, and if you haven't seen that, then I'll show you now. But I made this little Christmas bucket list. It says Christmas bucket list on the top, and then I just do the little pictures and just all these activities I want to check off. And not only is this a cute addition to like holiday decor and it makes things exciting and it's kind of an activity in itself, it does really help me keep organized because Christmas gets really busy, we all know this, and you want to fit a lot of things in, or at least I do, and sometimes you just forget, and then after it's too late, you're like, oh crap, I wish I would have done that. So by making this Advent activity list, I can... It's a family activity. We can check things off as we go, and I keep it on the fridge, so it's kind of in the center of the house, and we're just always aware of it, so it's really hard to forget things that way. And it's also a lot more relaxing because we've turned it into a game and not a chore. So that's something I really recommend. It makes you a lot more relaxed for Christmas and the whole family a lot more relaxed, and it's still another great way to just stay organized. So that's my Christmas bucket list. If you guys want to take some inspiration from this, I highly recommend that you create your own with your own family traditions and your own things you want to try. It can be really fun and a really easy way to just stay on top of it. Sometimes it can just get too chaotic and then you forget. So I make one of those every year, and it's been a big hit every single year, and I think we'll probably do it forever. I love it. Okay, the next way I stay organized is by using my calendar, obviously. I highly recommend having a physical calendar, not just the one on your phone. Again, my fridge is kind of my home zone. That's where I keep everything organized. It's just like I have a little command center beside my fridge that kind of goes onto my fridge too on the side. And we have a wonderful Moana calendar. Super family friendly and fun. And so with my calendar, I will just throw in all the big things that don't really move, if that makes sense. With my calendar, that's where I will stick things like, if we have weekly things going on, obviously like you would any other time of the year, I make sure it's on the calendar just so we can't double book anything. Any holiday parties, that goes on the calendar. Holiday parties we need to attend or that we throw, I put it on the calendar. I even put like days we need to go to Costco on the calendar. If you have a specific event happening, like visiting Santa, if you have a date, like that's on our calendar. Just Christmas activities that are happening on certain days, I make sure go on the calendar, and then they kind of we're able to check that off our Advent list as well. But I try and plan out as much as I can in advance for November and December. Ahead of time, and then, you know, as the weeks pass, I'm slowly going more into December and writing more down. So I'll write things like, we do a big North Pole breakfast every December 1st, and our elves come, so I make sure that's written down so I don't forget, and that way I'll see it on the calendar, and we're like, oh yeah, I need to shop for that, or something. It's just another physical reminder, and it's nice because the whole family can see it. So my husband might walk by and be like, oh yeah, this is there, hey hun, did you remember this? Or he might pick something up for it, or it's a lot better, and it kind of takes a lot of the pressure off just one of the people in the house, because a lot of times one person will take over the majority of like the stress for Christmas shopping and organizing. So I feel like a physical calendar that the whole family can see can be really beneficial. And that way it's really easy when somebody's like, hey, I want you to come do this, or let's go do this thing on this day. It's like, okay, let me check my calendar. You flip, and those are all your main events that, you know, really can't go anywhere, and so you'll know when you're free, really, or when you have some wiggle room, and that's how I do it. And then after using my big, like, wall calendar, then I also have a day-to-day planner, and that's where my small stuff goes in. This all sounds like a lot maybe, but it just is how I stay organized. So I use my weekly planner to kind of fill in the small bits, and that's like, oh, don't forget to go grocery shopping and things like that. I've actually had my planner for a long time. I used it for a while, but then I stopped using it, and then I started using it again a few months ago, and it's actually been a lifesaver for the holiday season, and I don't think I'll not be using this. So my planner looks like this. You can get these at Walmart. I think they're like or $10. They're really cheap and they're really cute. So it's got like a little magnetic foldy bit here, and then you open it up. You have to excuse my messy planning for this week. But here's your weekly planner. And it has sections, which I really like because I need space to actually be able to write stuff. I can't have one little tiny cubby of stuff to write my whole day. So it's sectioned off into morning, afternoon, evening, and then you have extra notes, and then it's the day where you can just, and it's not dated. Like, you can put your own dates in. So if you skip a week, it doesn't mess up your planner, because planners can be really finicky. I find it hard to find a planner that works for me, but this one I really like. And so the pages are just, you just tear off a page when you're done, and they're really cute. And then this one came with a notepad in it, but I already used it, so I just what did I even use? I like hot glued a different just plain notepad because I got a pack from the dollar store. There was just these plain white ones, and here I will put like my to-do list for that day. And also under the page, like for example, under that one I have the things I want to talk about in this video. This, I have like a grocery list started that's just floating around, which is not normally floating around, but I'll just tuck it in there. So this is kind of like my day-to-day guide, because mom brain is a real thing, guys. Most of us know this, and for some of us it's more than others. So this is essential in my life, and not, but especially during the holidays. So I try and plan a little bit ahead, but like even just sitting down sometime the day before and trying to like, so I'll just like jot things in when I remember to for the rest of the week. Like if I have something that happens every day, I'll just write it in each day. And then if I keep it open and in a spot I see it often, so like my kitchen table or like a counter I visit often. And so if somebody tells me, oh, there's this thing, or I'll like go to my big calendar on the fridge, okay, next week we have this activity, I'll like skip ahead and write it in next week, or later on this week we'll have this, and I'll just make sure it's in there. And then in the little notes areas when I'll be like, oh, I have to buy a gift for this thing, don't forget that. Like for example, this week on Saturday I need to buy Advent fillers, so I don't forget that. So I write things like that in, and making sure I don't forget to put dinner in if I have to cook it ahead of time. It just is really helpful for me, and this is a big reason of how I stay organized during the holiday season and just in life. So that was a little bit long-winded. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say about this the Christmas bucket list is the reason I love it so much is I always want to do all these fun things, but then sometimes I forget about what fun things I wanted to do. And on the spot, when you have like an hour and you're like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? It's nice to just go on there, pick a thing that you have the time for, cross it off. It's right there. The idea is there. You've already like had it, dealt with it. You've already planned for it. And it's just really handy to do it that way. The next thing I would recommend would be having a budget. Now, this doesn't work for everybody. Some people budget really hard. For me, I'm a loose budgeter. And maybe that would work for you. So, but just having a general budget is going to create a lot less stress, because then you don't accidentally spend way more than you plan to. If you spend less in an area, you kind of know that you have some more wiggle room in these areas, and it can just be a lot less stressful. But I think it kind of speaks for itself. Everybody knows about budgeting nowadays, so yeah, having a budget, even a loose one, can really, really help. And on the topic of having a budget, I think that planning your shopping days for like Christmas shopping can be super beneficial. I plan our grocery shopping days ahead, and our Christmas shopping, like I know what days we're going Christmas shopping, and that reduces so much stress because I can prepare for it. I can get myself in the mood I need to be to face crowds, and we can arrange childcare if we need to far in advance, so we're not going to be all of a sudden stuck with Christmas shopping and then needing to take our children with us or something crazy like that. So it can be really, really, really less stressful to just plan out your shopping days, and then that kind of helps in your budget when you know you're going to have gift buying money and stuff at the right times, and it just makes everything a little more organized. This is a really important one that I think everybody should do, but that's just my opinion. I really believe that it's important to plan out downtime for yourself and your family. We get so busy planning things to keep us busy, but often we forget to plan out days to just relax. So maybe it's a Sunday where you're just going to cook a dinner, or maybe you're just going to order in and play a board game with your family and just have like family chill day, or family chill afternoon, or family chill evening, or a day for you to have nothing planned in the evening and like pamper yourself, go to bed early. For a few years now, I have been incredibly passionate about the Danish concept of hygge, which if you don't know what that is, it looks like it's spelled like hygge, Hyggge. Google it. It is a life changer. I've been practicing this for a few years now, as I said, and it's just all about being cozy in the cold months. And you can, once you really understand it, you can apply it to all year round. But it happens the best in the winter. And during the holidays especially. I was kind of thinking of doing a little video on hygge and how to, like, the best ways that, or in my opinion, some of the best tips to apply hygge to your life during Christmas. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm probably gonna do that. But in a very general nutshell, it's about keeping your life cozy and simple, distraction-free, kind of putting the phone away, spending time with loved ones, having good food, you know, just having a good, relaxing time. So I think it's super important to keep the holiday stress down, stress in general, by planning some times to just relax and enjoy the holiday and your life and whatever is going on. Another tip I would give would be making the mundane fun, because there are some definite mundane things. Some people really enjoy all of it. That's kind of how I live. I like to try and make all the little things a more fun experience. But how you could maybe apply that would be if you hate wrapping and wrapping just takes up so much time, plan a day that's going to be your wrapping day. So it's like, okay, you know, maybe you do it soon, maybe you do it just a few days before Christmas, but plan a day so you know, sorry, I'm not making any other arrangements that day. Do it like in advance so that nothing can build up and then you don't have time to wrap. Plan an evening out to do all of your wrapping. Cody and I have a tradition where we wrap together. We watched the movie Scrooged. It just kind of came about to be a tradition. We have hot chocolates or some sort of special drink, and we sit down and we wrap all the gifts together. We watch a movie, we laugh, we have a great time, and it's like a date night for us. So if you can find a twist on making something that might not be as fun for you more fun, that could be really beneficial. Like if you have to do a big shop for a holiday meal and you hate going to the grocery store, maybe it stresses you out. Maybe plan a little bit in advance so that you go get your favorite coffee or your favorite holiday drink. Have a podcast set up that you can listen to maybe, or, you know, your favorite album, or maybe a nice holiday soundtrack, something like that, you know? Just little things to make the mundane just a little more enjoyable, where maybe you can just be calmer and just not be so stressed out. And my very last tip for staying organized during the holidays would be, don't stress about it too much. Don't try to do everything. Nobody can do everything. People who try to pull off the perfect Christmas, there's always balls dropped. Like anything in life, we always say, if we try and be the perfect mom or something, somebody's always going to be dropping balls. You can't balance everything. So don't try to do everything. You don't have to be Pinterest mom for Christmas. You don't have to do everything. A fun Christmas activity could be sitting by your Christmas tree and eating pizza and watching a Christmas movie, and that could be like the one thing your kids remember for years to come. So just try not to sweat it, because I've learned from experience that your attitude is going to determine more about how your holiday goes than the things you buy or the things you've done or the amount of busy you've made yourself to try and make the perfect Christmas or whatever. So just try not to sweat it too much. If something doesn't get done, meh, who cares? If you don't get the perfect outfit for that party, whatever. Like if you can't find the perfect gift it's not gonna be a deal breaker. If your cookies don't turn out, whatever, have fun decorating them. You know what I mean? Like, just try not to stress too much, because this is your holiday too, and everybody deserves to enjoy it, especially the people who are working their asses off to try and make it wonderful for everybody else. So make sure you enjoy it too, and just don't stress. Try not to. I know it's hard, but try. Okay, you guys, those are just my personal tips on how I stay organized for the holidays. If this helped you, then that is wonderful. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to be posting a lot of Vlogmas videos and trying to get my game up from there. If you have any tips that you do to keep yourself really organized that you really enjoy, let me know in the comments down below. We can talk about it down there. Join in on sharing your tips as well with other people. I love when everybody gets talking. It's really fun, because this is really about a community thing. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time. Bye!